Hello, how are you doing? So I'm going to read another chapter from Who Cares? How to Care for Yourself Whilst Caring for a Loved One. And this chapter is quite interesting for those caring, and it's called Number One. So for a few moments, I'd like you to think of everyone in your life, all of your friends and family, those who live near and those who live a distance away. And out of all these, let's think about those who are closest to you and who really matter. For argument's sake, just choose one person who is number one in your life. Who is top of your list? It could be the person you're married to, possibly your spouse or your partner. Maybe you could think it's your mother or father, or the best friend that you've known for years. For most of us, the last person that we will think about is ourselves. Did you even think about yourself whilst doing this? Guess what? You are number one in your life. If you're caring for someone who's seriously ill or long-term sick, your thoughts and feelings may be currently on them. But even so, the most important person in your life is still you. Carers often put those they care for first and themselves last. I did as well. By constantly focusing all your attention on a loved one, it can become second nature to put others first. I've interviewed a number of carers, and even when I ask them questions about them and their lives, they are very quickly head straight back to the number one subject, the cared for. It doesn't seem to matter how many times I steer the conversation back to the carer to see how they are. It doesn't take long before they return to the cared for again. As carers, we just can't help ourselves. And I was the same. So if you're caring for someone who is seriously ill, it is understandable that they need your love and support right now. But you also need to strike a balance to ensure you look after your own health and well-being as well. It's a difficult balance to get right. So at present, you may feel that you don't really have the time to think about yourself. There will be probably a mass of doctor's appointments, chasing social services, financial issues to contend with, and along with a whole load of other things to address. So it'll be easy to bypass yourself and neglect your needs. You can deal with them later, right? When you have time, which never comes. Pushing back on your own wants and needs can lead to poor health if neglected. Isolation due to not giving time to nurture your other relationships, and even anger and frustration. Have you ever felt that? Because you're not taking the time to have regular breaks, having time for you, even if they're really short, just a half an hour here and there. If you leave yourself depleted and stressed, your cared for will most probably sense this, and I think my husband did at those times. Many find the responsibility of caring a burden, and it can quickly take over their lives. When this goes unchecked, you can really feel that you're purely existing for another, and I've heard that from carers, and that is not a healthy way to live. You know, it's the nature of the role, constantly being there for another until you are not there yourself. I actually call this the carer's response mode, and within a couple of weeks of caring for a loved one, you end up being there for them to actually then to give to yourself. It can actually feel awkward, and a lot of us feel very guilty having time out, but you need it. You need that care for yourself. I know a carer who needs a heart operation, but refuses to have it, as he is worried about leaving his disabled wife for whom he cares for. It's understandable why he doesn't want to leave his vulnerable wife with others, but the alternative of not having that operation is an even bigger concern. Sometimes we just don't have a choice because we need to ensure our own health and well-being, as he did too. We often have to juggle so much trying to keep all the balls in the air, and that can end up to feeling exhausted and not in a good state of mind. And then we don't make decisions the right way. We're just making them out of fear, which is not good for you. In the early days of caring, I would rush around, trying to do everything, attempting to please everybody. You're a people pleaser like I was. This didn't make me any good. Looking back, I needed to slow down and say no a few times. It would have been better to leave a bit of space between each chore that I was doing instead of rushing to finish one and then starting another. Each day was just filled off with a ticking off list of things to do. So ask yourself, what do I really need to do right now? And does it need to be done so quickly? We can easily put pressure on ourselves. Do the cushions on the sofa really need plumping up all the time? Does the house need to be spotless? What is important? I've been saying yes to everybody, or taking time. Just take time to relax and ensure that your mental and physical body is in good shape. And why some of us will still want to say that we want both. I know I want everything as well. Find space in every day to focus on yourself. This may mean pushing back on what others expect of you. Not everyone will be understanding. Sometimes friends and family and co-workers may not realise they are burdening you. They may presume that you're coping okay and you really don't mind. So communication is key to make sure that they recognise that you can only do so much. Be honest with others. Let them know how you're feeling. When you make decisions, you need to ensure that your opinion is taken into account. Your feelings and your health are just as important as anybody else's. I hope you enjoyed that, and until next time, take care.